Glad to be back. I had a couple of rough weeks, but we're back on track. This week I'd like to talk to you about something that's been on my mind because I've had another health issue. And I believe very firmly in the power of God and the power of prayer. But it so saddens me so often when I hear people say, oh, well, if it's God's will, I'll be healed. Well, I think, well, aren't you reading the Bible? I mean, all it talks about is God's will for the very best of us. Jesus never turned anybody away. Well, maybe he did say to the Samaritan woman that he did not come for her. But even when she said, well, even, the dogs are allowed to get the scraps under the table, he found her faith so amazing. He said, then you can get your request. You're healed. And so I would love to talk to you today about the power of our belief and the connection it has with physical healing. I've seen it happen so many times. I've been miraculously healed of cancer after being sent home to die. I've had E. coli and was supposed to die of that, and within, 24 hours was being let out of the hospital to a surprise of 5 doctors who were there when I was rolled in. But I was able to tell them about the power of faith and the power of prayer. But there's so many out there that have all kinds of addendums why they think God shouldn't answer a prayer for healing. They're not good enough. The time of healing and miracles are over. Maybe it's not God's will. And it goes on and on and on and on. I can only tell you that through the years, I found that it's not so much what you have faith in as in who you trust. And when you trust God and you read the Bible, folks, you got to read it because that tells you everything you've inherited, including the ability to be healed of every disease. And I hope to talk to you about this in the coming weeks, about what I've discovered about the connection between our bodies, our minds, and faith, and how it's all connected. And so if you have someone who is in dire need of a transplant or is battling cancer or any of the other things that come up and bite you in the tail, it seems, don't give up hope, because I want to show you over the next week how the power of prayer, when released properly, when we understand the connection between emotions and faith, and how that faith can be either emboldened or completely dissipated depending on what we think about, what we constantly focus on when we're dealing with these issues. But for now, I want you to go away and pick up that Bible and start reading the Gospels. And every time Jesus did a miracle of faith for healing, underline it. And you're going to start to see some amazing things that I think you may not have really realized before. That regardless of what kind of illness you or your friends or your family are going through, God has the remedy. It's simply about trusting. And I'm going to tell you some more stories as the weeks go on that I hope will embolden that faith. So God bless. Until next Monday morning, have a wonderful and blessed week.